What do you say, Aquarius? This is Cosmic Boogeyman coming back at you with a read, a timeline read. Um, so I'm gonna just pull some tarot for you. I have a double tarot deck that I like to use. I'm gonna just jump right in here and see what we get. If you didn't know, I'm also an Aquarius. I like to see what we get. I typically don't read for myself. I wait to read here with you here. So if you haven't seen this read before, I have a particular read that I like to come up with. I came up with this with my guides a while back. It seems to be pretty accurate for myself and friends and family. So it's a timeline read where I like to use four cornerstones, a conduit, and then I have a basically it's a center line. It's really your heart chakra. But what it's telling us is it's basically giving us an overall read of like what's happening in your life, your situation. So right out the gate, you have the divine following you, or the divine's giving you a choice. Okay. Next out is you have basically a slow moving night or a slow moving situation, or information's coming in to the divine or giving you information. The path that's coming in here is you have the Knight of Swords, which is the information that's coming in is fast moving typically, but you haven't had all the information gathered. But when it hits, it's going to come in quicker than you expect. The Knight of Wands is a passionate knight, and it's this knight that's going to give you it's going to give you some information beyond your control. Typically, this lizard is someone that's sapping energy, so maybe you or somebody else is feeling the sting. This could be a typically when I see the wands, it's really a passionate person or a lot of passion. You could say it's a Sagittarius, you could say it's a fire sign, Aries, but I don't like to kind of hang my hat on that. But they're looking at someone who's a manifesting queen. This could be a mother figure, and they're typically a happy person. So whenever this person talks to them or involves their life with them or gets their energy involved, they feel as though this person is really the one. Someone coming in is coming in from the cold, or there's information coming in, or someone feels as though they are left out in the cold. This person could also be someone who is injured, or there's two people that are trying to make their way towards this mother figure. On the outside of that, there's regret or a regretful past from these people. So when I move to this last cornerstone, there's something hidden. I would say almost, there is a lot of information that's hidden from this foundation. When you go to the divine and then you go to this moon, there are two towers that haven't triggered. That doesn't mean they're going to trigger, it just means that they're available. What worries me is that you have uh, basically three people, and it makes me question what is actually happening here. I wouldn't quite worry quite yet. Let's get to more reading. There's a life lesson that's going to happen, but when we have when we have a secondary Knight of Swords, we're trying to figure out which direction to go. So there's really a lot of like yin and yang happen. So it's like there's a good and bad. Like 1 minute we're in, 1 minute we're out, and it's a life lesson that's happening. But the universe is saying which way you're gonna go. This King of Wands is a lucky person, or they feel as though they're lucky, or they're going through a lot of luck up and down. This Queen of Pentacles is an earth sign, or they have earth in their chart. Uh, they're not hiding who they are, not hiding what they want. They're very much coming out of that self imprisonment, and we're trying to figure out what they want. When you have this gray area, there's no good or bad. They're just letting you know if they're coming out of self imprisonment. They could have a high level of intuition. When I see this, when I see this paired up with the Ten of Pentacles, I'm sorry, the Ten of Cups, they're looking for abundance. They're looking for the final piece to their puzzle. So you'll see when I start finalizing this read here, Aquarius, you'll notice that they're looking for their completion, their home, their happiness. Ooh, we got the secondary Temperance. So what I have here is I'm running, if you haven't noticed, I'm running two two tarot decks. So what we have here is the second Temperance card. Just because it's in reverse doesn't mean a whole lot quite yet, but what's happened is you have a hidden angel. So this person or this other angel is controlling the actual universal message. So what I'm seeing here is somebody's working or working at something, and it's just saying, hey, this is being controlled, or this life message or life lesson is being controlled by the divine, and we just haven't quite seen it. Also, this luck that's being delivered and life lesson that's being delivered is also being delivered by the divine or by what we consider the angels. The hidden aspects of what's not being seen, or this like weirdness, like if you're seeing synchronicities, numbers, um, like almost kind of like the unknown, that could also be triggered by the unknown divine. So what I've been noticing over the last few weeks is a lot of the messages I've been getting, especially as an Aquarius, is it's embrace the journey. Find what you're doing. Life's challenges, there are opportunities for growth, and that's what we're kind of seeing here. Is we're trying to embrace that opportunity. We're trying to grow with whatever we're looking for. We're trying to grow our money, grow our life, and we're trying to grow with whatever it is. We're trying to get out of that self-imprisonment mode, and we're trying to race towards luck. However, not all our luck can be in the same place at the same time. But if we find the correct partner, the person that is our opposite, that could actually benefit us. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to, take steps towards that courage to find that right person. That's all. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for those people to kind of match our energy. So when we have 3 nights, this is a really good sign. It's almost like we're guarded, we're protected, we have the energy, we have the people around us, and we have the availability to manifest or grow, but we're just not quite there yet. We're just trying to grow the situation. At our cornerstone, there's an offer been made that's been very, very uh, abundant in that respect, and is protected. Whatever this is a very protected offer. There's an exploration of this manifesting luck. The Wheel of Fortune has been there. It's been given to you. And there's a third person here. And I would say that there's another, basically female, that's connected to the secondary female. And they're helping guide whatever the situation is. And they're just growing the situation. As we grow the situation, the secondary female has luck on their side. And they're trying to help grow the abundanceness of this whole life. Where this person could be in a situation, that would say they're probably a loving person, and they're not looking to move on, but they're looking to maybe sense or help grow a life situation into a better, more abundant life. What I'm trying to find here is I'm trying to see where they want to grow this life into. What do we want here? What do we want here? So it has to be based on communication, is what I'm seeing, because if there's a hidden communication happening, there must be hidden communications going on behind the scenes with the moon card. So there's definitely some kind of regret or communication going on behind the scenes with this work. And the divine is controlling this hidden communication. Either they're trying to help control this, but that's where the regret comes in. You can't cry over spilt milk. I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, but the divine is helping guide this, where it's going to spark and move very fast, very quickly. But when this kicks off, you can't control it. So once the I would say the lion has left the den, it's out. You can't stop it. And that's what happens is your death, there's a death to what's been when the old life, I would say. So if you kill off your old version of yourself, and we have this happen once in a while, but Aquarius, if you kill off your old version of yourself, and you've been known to do this, but think of the past versions of yourself. Like if you kill off your old version of yourself, so think about yourself when you were 16, if you're 24, if you're say 30, or even if you're say you're 7, 8, 9, 10, you kill off that old version of yourself, you never go back. You never go back to that version. But once you go forward fast. You commit to that change, and that's what happens to you. What's happening now is you are starting to make that commitment, and you're growing this commitment, and you're understanding that there is a long-term commitment about to happen. This is where the luck comes in, and you're starting to see it. It's more than money to you. It's abundance, if that makes sense. Do you know what abundance is, Aquarius? Do you understand what abundance actually is? Abundance is not just money. Abundance is having the availability of saying, I need food. Can you pay that bill? Or can you get food from wherever you are? Oh, I'm hungry. You can walk into any building and they can give you food. I'm hungry. I can go into a grocery store and they'll say, "Oh, by the way, we have a free coupon for food." That's abundance. You're trying to grow yourself from the king or queen of wands to the emperor or empress. You're trying to be the king or the you're trying to be the king or yeah, the king or the queen of all kings or queens. Like you're trying to grow yourself so you control every king. Or you're trying to be the you can just basically switch your role to anything. That's where it is. You want to control any direction. You want to basically be able to switch gears at any time. You understand that behind the scenes, there is what's called the universe. There is the divine. You have learned somehow, some way, that you have to be able to switch gears, if that makes sense to you. And I think you have a very, very strong understanding. So, what you have done is somehow you have tapped into the universe and started to communicate beyond what we would understand. So, I would say, like when you go to bed at night or when you start to communicate, the universe has found some way to talk to you, Aquarius, and you have found a way to communicate back. And that's what's happened is you have found a way to start to communicate and you have found ways to wait for the messages to come through and you say, okay, what is it you're trying to give me? What is it the messages? And you're not fully there yet, but you're reaching out and you're making this long-term commitment to talk. Your intuition is beyond compare. You have intuition that's unlike anybody else. Um, when I start to look at cards like this, I really wonder if you're already manifesting, if you're already at the point of manifestation and you say, I know how to do it, and there is the manifestation card. How about that? So you have actually started to learn how to manifest, and you have started to manifest not only money or abundance, but you're manifesting people around you that are going to support what you're trying to accomplish. So you're starting to reach out and you're starting to find people that can support this on different levels or different scenarios. So if you're not making money, you're saying, well, how can I switch the script and make money on a different way or make abundance on a different way? You want to be able to pull the trigger. So you're saying, hey, I know that you're there, divine, and you have a permanent connection now to the other side. Before I pull this last card here in the cornerstone, I really want to ask a question to you. I want to say, like, what are three traits that you have that no one else has around you? And it's okay because no one's going to obviously question you on this, but ask yourself this. What are three traits that you have that your best friend doesn't have? Or three traits that you have that nobody else has? And it's really something you should ask yourself before I pull this last card here because I'm going to pull a card from the middle here. I'm going to pull a card like randomly, okay? But I want you to ask yourself, what are three traits that you have that divine wants you to know? Because you've been working at something for a while. And it's more than a life lesson. This is more than a life lesson. It's you understanding about how the universe actually works. And I'm going to there it is. It jumped. It's not being sneaky. It's about being honest. Does that make sense? And when you're being honest, it appears as though you're being sneaky. That's the difference. When you're being honest, it appears as though you're being sneaky with somebody. So there's people who are out to get you because you have so much or you have the ability. If I said to you, "Hey, you know about the journey, you know about how to get to the end result, you know how to create abundance, you know how to make something happen out of nothing, what would that mean to you? What would that mean if I said you could create, you can make the lottery numbers happen? I think many of you would say, I want those lottery numbers. But there's a small select few of you who are actually watching this who would actually give that and say, I want those lottery numbers to go to the people who need them. And that's the difference, is those manifesting people who would use that luck to go to the people who actually need it. That's the difference. You're looking for people who you can line up next to you, who can give them the chance. That's the tower moments that you're looking for. You're looking for tower moments to be controlled. If we ask ourselves about war, famine, death, we want those to be controlled in a way that you actually can handle it. And look at that. Death card comes right out. We're looking for those cards to be handled in a way where you handle these cards. And this could be a Scorpio, but you're looking for these cards to be handled in a way that you understand. Hey, they have to happen, but I want to control the way they happen. And not in a way like they're happening today where we're being distracted by war in other countries, or like the Ukraine war was the big news and now we're focused on Israel and we're focused on, the Bitcoin stock market, and we're focused, but we get distracted by other things. But reality is, imagine you could control your own future, which you can. But what you're realizing is, and if you look at your secondary cornerstones, you're realizing you have control over communication to your own divine. It's not sneaky, it's just what do you accept as reality. And that's what you're starting to realize. You're going to move slow and you have to accept what is your reality. And that's what's becoming real to you. You have to move slow and you have to realize that this is from past life. This is from what's real. You have to understand there is so many books on this. There is so much reality behind this. This is not something that's just coming out from a tarot read. If you look at past books, past lives, my God, there's like, if you just look up after this, just do a Google search on Neville Goddard and just look on just Neville Goddard. But look on this stuff, or Nikola Tesla. Any of this stuff, if it has to do with helping people, this kind of stuff exists. The Freemasons, they have this information and they have this stuff out there because they understand that reality can be manipulated and you can create from nothing. And this is a pentacle. Pentacle being an earth sign, 3D. This comes from 5D. What your reality is based on what you have to walk away from. You have to be able to walk away from what we consider abundance. Abundance being, if I said you could have anything in the world, but you have to walk away from that, why would you walk away from it? Most people wouldn't. They wouldn't walk away from the reality of what they have to create something new. But if I said you could choose a new life, would you do that? Most of you would. But what would that new life be? What would that new reality be? And this is where most people, most billionaires have gained that knowledge, because people want to surround themselves around these people. And that's where these knights fall in. There's a knight here, a knight under here, a knight here, a knight here, and then there's a page who would be like your advisor. And that's what happens. If I show you this card, this is the only black card here, and this is your emperor. So for this read, what this is telling you and telling me is you would surround yourself with advisors, confidants, people who you trust, people who you would want to support you. Surround yourself. You would have two queens, you would have the chariot, and you would end what you would know as your existence. I'm telling you right now, Aquarius, this is no joke. This is the universe talking to you, telling you, get ready, change your universe, change your world, change your reality, and open it up. Embrace the journey, because life's challenges, they're opportunities for you to grow. But what step are you going to take? What's the courage you're going to do? What are you going to experience along the way? How are you going to take this step, and what are you going to do to grow? You can be the same person tomorrow, but what's going to change if you take that step and do nothing? Like, if you take the step and change, How are you going to change? If I ask you or challenge you to be different tomorrow into the next day, the next day, the next day, I guarantee you with your pairing yourself up with this intuition alongside here, you will be a better person. You will 100% be a better person if you change. Next week, this time, pick up a new skill. What about next year, this time, pick up a new skill? Today is 12/12. I want you to do something. Write a letter to yourself in the present tense and write this letter in present tense. Don't let anyone read it. Just say, hey, as of today, say, hey, thank you. I'm so happy. I'm rich. I'm so happy. Whatever it is. So happy I'm abundant. And thank the universe. Put it away somewhere next year at this time. Burn that letter. Just do this. Commit to this change, but commit to the change, and it's going to stick in your mind. You're going to commit. This is what you have to do is you have to hide this letter. You're going to hide it. It's not a tower moment. You're committing to this positive change in your subconscious. You're going to commit to this change because once you start writing these things down, you're going to start manifesting the change. You're not exploring a negative opportunity, you're exploring a positive opportunity. And when you start exploring these positive changes, you're going to basically take action. And that's what's actually happening here. You're not taking action in about a tower moment, you're taking action on a positive opportunity. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you one last card here because I think you really need this. And this is going to be from the universe to you. This is skipping me directly. So I'm going to pull one last card, okay? So let's see what we got here. All right, you're going to pull one last card here. This is from my third tarot deck. So I was doing double tarot decks. One more card from the universe to you, Aquarius. Let's see what you got. One card, one card. All right. Waste, disorganization, chaos, giving up, impatience, no reward, and prudence. All right. We have Seven of Pentacles, Earth, Taurus. Control, mastery, investigation, responsibility. I think that's kind of what we end up having. So I have a really good friend. It's kind of like this. And when I first started doing tarot a while back, that was one of the things. Is like, the question he was always asking me, say, hey, well, give me the tarot numbers. I'm sorry, use tarot and give me lottery numbers then. Give me this, give me that. And this is one of those things. Is like it's control. It's like give me this, give me that. Give impatience. I want this. No reward. Because my universe controls my universe. Your universe controls your universe. And I'm going to show you like where this card comes in, and this is why it's important. This card comes in here. The minute you give up on growing your universe, it's end goal. That's it. You lost. But if you decide I'm going to grow, all this kicks in. Because this is what I call the conduit. If you commit your conduit, what happens? You look back on what you have achieved and set new goals. See? That's what's happened. And many of you, if you're watching this still and you're paying attention, that's what's happened. You guys have to commit. You have to commit to this. You have to look back and achieve. You have to set goals. You have to plan. You have to progress. You have to persevere. You have to put diligence. Every night, I actually set goals. I manifest. Every single night, I manifest. Every single night, I set intention. No negative thought every night. Because I know I live in a 3D world. I'm a soul that lives in a 3D world, and I have to live by those rules. But I know when I die, my soul's going on, and I'm going to go by those rules. But by these rules that we live in this 3D world, this is the rules I have to live by. So I have to set intention, and then by setting those intentions, I grow. And you can argue all day, every day, but I'm going to tell you it works. I don't care what anyone says. That's what the plan is. So Aquarius, unless you already do this, I'm going to tell you that you should have to set these goals in place. Okay? So I want you to do this. Set your intentions. Work for what you want, but don't give up. Okay? Don't just give up because it hasn't set place. Once you put this in place into your universe, that's your reality. Once you say this is my reality, then it is your reality, Aquarius. Let's make the world a better place together, okay? You stay safe.